everyone. As Dan mentioned earlier, we have two special guests with us here today. We have Colleen and Luann. They are not only the co-directors, but the co-founders of Northtown Pregnancy Center. They're located at 2565 Elmwood Avenue in in Kenmore. A couple things I wanted to mention. We do support them financially through our missions giving. So whenever you, on your envelope, if you put on the missions line, any money that you give to missions, half of all that money goes to Northtown Pregnancy Center. So we do support them financially. Another way you can support them financially is if you wanted a specific amount to go directly to them, you can mail it directly to them. You don't have to give through the church. They do receipt the giving. It is tax deductible, so you can give directly to them. I have their P.O. Box number if anybody's interested in that. I can give them that. So they're going to come up here and they're going to tell us all the exciting things that they're doing, and we just want to welcome them. Go Team Northtown Pregnancy Center.
Thank you so much. It has been some time since we were here, and we were talking about that this morning. We're not even really sure exactly, but it was very early in the process of the foundation being laid for Northtown Pregnancy Center, and we could stand up here for the next 20 minutes and say thank you over and over, and it wouldn't even begin to express the gratitude we have in our hearts toward this church. And when we consider the foundation that God has laid for the Pregnancy Center, this church will always be a part of that, and it has been crucial in the building of Northtown Pregnancy Center. So we appreciate your prayers and your giving, and the support of Pastor Don really has headed this, and his family. So when we were here before, we were very early in the process of looking for a building, and God blessed us with an incredible building that has met all of our needs. Should I go? Okay. It was very interesting and very frustrating at times as we were looking through the area, and kept thinking that there were a couple of buildings that God had for us, and He brought to us a building that basically has room for us to grow, and we have grown since we've been in there. We've been able to just increase and move into other parts of the building. So we would love for you to come and see it. We're open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, and at any time if you want to walk in, and we'll give you a tour. Since we were here, we were very small in our board, and God continued to bring people alongside of us and be part of the board of directors. We have 25 volunteers now that have committed to come in and serve along with us. We're always looking for more, so if you're interested in that, you can talk to us about that. And Luann's going to share a little bit more about some of the other things concerning the center and pro-life.
I'm a lot taller than Colleen, as you can see. One of the things that we kind of struggled with was talking about the current events with Planned Parenthood. At first we were like, oh, let's not bring it up at all, but then it really just kind of struck us that we do have to talk about it because it is an issue. Unfortunate, but it is an issue. We know that, we've always known that what they do, unfortunately, is awful and horrific. But to see it actually come to life now, and actually seeing the videos that have been presented, which I can't even watch the last ones, but is just saddening in your heart. It's we don't want to just stand up here and talk about how horrible they are and all those people are horrible and what they do is horrible, and just want you to flutter through just a moment of emotion and yeah, you're right, and we want you to grasp on and really understand that what's happening is really not what God wants. And what we do is to counteract that. So we're there to really, we try to get the girls to come in. If we get a phone call, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but we're working on getting our ultrasound up and going, which is something we talked about when we first came. We're close. We're very, very close. We'll talk about that too. But We don't want you to just get on our bandwagon for a moment or a couple days or maybe a couple weeks. We want you to understand and join us in our team. As Pastor Don said, this is a team thing. Be a part of our team if it's prayerfully, financially, or coming in, as Colleen said, to just not just volunteer, that's a big deal, to volunteer. So we really appreciate what you do, and we want you to appreciate what we do. But we also want you to understand that some of the people at Planned Parenthood are not horrible people. And the majority of them didn't start out in their thought process. They really believe that what they're doing is good. And they do it in the name of science and life, the life of the woman, not the life of the baby. So we really want you to understand and want you to know that when you're confronted, because you might be confronted with someone who is a pro-choice person, we want you to counteract them in love. Not, point fingers and talk about, how bad it is and that they're, taking the lives of children. And we want you to just do it in love and understand, because that person that you may be talking to may have an abortion in their past. And when someone has an abortion in their past, they put up a wall. And if they are not alone in their life, and they can do things for what they think is good, they're going to try to do that. They don't understand the forgiveness of God yet. So that's something that you need to approach them with. God is forgiving and, but there's a lot of great things that you can come up with. We all know the scriptures of, like Pastor Don's story was great about being formed in the womb and you were alive before you were born, and it's true, and we all know that, but they don't understand that, and they're going to fight against that with you. But if you can just pray, love, and show love, just listen quietly, and come back with a loving remark. Is what you need to do, because confrontation doesn't work. I was going to read Psalm 139, but Pastor Don already took care of that for us. So, but Jeremiah has in there too, now the word of the Lord came to me. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I consecrated you. I appointed you a prophet of the nations. Every person has a purpose. And we all need to understand that even those little babies have a purpose. And some of them are cut short. But we understand that, if you can just come around someone who is facing a crisis pregnancy, they're scared. They're just trying hard to find a solution. And unfortunately, and we mentioned this before, but some of you might not have been here when you heard it before. New York State doesn't have a waiting period. They can walk right into an abortion clinic, get an abortion the same day. Most states, you go in, you have an appointment, you have to wait 24 hours at least to really think it through. It's not like that here. So they can walk in right away and just do that at the moment of their crisis and then regret it so hardly after. So if you do come across someone who is in a crisis pregnancy, that's what we're here to do. Sometimes people try to counsel them out of that, or it just doesn't work so well, but we can do that, and we can help you do that for you. I kind of went off my notes a little bit here. Let's see. How can we help? There we go. How can you help join us? Colleen mentioned it. Volunteering is huge. We need volunteers. We're open the 3 days a week. We want to be open 5. And so we need more volunteers. 25 is awesome. We have great volunteers. We need nurses. We need a sonographer who can do ultrasounds for us. They have to be an RDMS, which is certified in obstetric ultrasound. We do limited. We will be doing limited ultrasound, which is just viability, size, and placement where the baby is, making sure the baby is where it's supposed to be. 89%, there's, depending on where you look, 89% of women will change their mind once they see their baby. And that's huge. And that's where our goal is. We've got our exam table. That was our one step. We got that. And now we just need to really work at getting our sonographer and training our nurses. So in that, you want to start talking about the other?
Yes. In case there are many of you that are on our email list and have kept up with the progression of the center, but some of you that haven't, I just want to say that this is God's center. He's shown from the very beginning that He's just using us to lead the way as He directs us, and there have been incredible miracles throughout this process. One of them was that the ultrasound, a local church raised the money for the ultrasound, and that was an incredible thing. So we do have the ultrasound machine sitting there, we have the exam table, we have the building, we have everything going, but please pray for that sonographer and the staff for that. So what do we do? What does it look like on a daily basis at the pregnancy center? And every day is different, and that's kind of the exciting thing about it. We have no idea what's going to happen. Most of the time we go, well, we didn't see that happening when we opened our doors this morning. But I just want to share with you a few stories of the people that have walked in. This story that I'm going to read to you actually was put out on our email list. Annie called looking for an abortion. She already has 3 kids and had lost her job. One more child was just too overwhelming to think about. She had taken the morning after pill, but the stupid thing didn't work. Not quite the word she used. We talked for a bit on the phone, and Annie said she would come in for a pregnancy test and talk. As we talked with Annie, we found out that she had a plan. All the kids would be in school this year, and it was time to do something for herself. She wanted to go back to school. She wants to be a sonographer. Really, this was not just for herself, but her kids. Her going to school would make things better for all of them. Our client advocate talked with her about all her options, not just regarding her pregnancy, but her goals too. Annie listened and shared her heart and dreams for her children. We discovered she didn't want to abort, but felt it would be the best thing. Her test was positive. A few more choice words about that morning after pill. She also said, maybe this is supposed to be, the pill not working, and getting you guys when I thought I was getting an abortion place. We asked her to come back in a week to take her time and not rush into a decision yet, and she agreed. Annie came back for her appointment. Our client advocate gave her the information that she had told her she would find for her, talked a bit, and then asked her if she had made a decision. And Annie said, what's one more? Annie is going to give life to her precious little baby. Please pray for her, just for her future and for this time of continuing with that pregnancy. Another story that we have that kind of amazed us because we really didn't think that early on we would see this, but it was very shortly after we opened our doors. We received a call and then a girl asking if she could come in. She rushed in, and we'll call her Mary, and she was very upset that she thought she was pregnant, and she really could not be pregnant. She was just beside herself, and how many of them walk in, just distraught. So we gave her the pregnancy test. It was negative, and so she was very relieved, and then we started talking about her choices that she was making. And she was amazed and actually quite taken back that she could change her lifestyle. It had never occurred to her to have sexual integrity, to choose to say no. And so we tried to talk to her a little bit about the Lord. She had been very hurt in church growing up. She wanted nothing to do with the Lord, and we respected that. And we asked her if she wanted to continue to come back and actually just kind of go through some teaching about sexual integrity, and she said she would, and she was thrilled that we even wanted to spend time with her and invest in her life. So she continued to meet with one of our client advocates for several weeks, and in the process softened and started talking about the hurt that she had in the church, and eventually, a few months down the road, she ended up recommitting her life to Christ. And so it's things like that that we realize it's just not about that person coming in and getting that positive pregnancy test, but also talking to those that have made a lot of poor decisions in their life. And then we have a client that came in that actually went to a pregnancy center down in the Pittsburgh area and wanted to continue up in this area. They moved here. Her husband is a resident in medical school, and so they have financial needs. So she chose to come in. She has 2 little ones, and she really doesn't know anybody in the area. And so she meets with one of our older client advocates that's been like a grandmother to her children. So it's been a place of wisdom and refuge for her and support. And so that's another one of our clients that comes in regularly. We also had a couple that walked in our door, and very young, and they had already decided that they were going to keep this pregnancy even though it was unplanned. They just didn't know what to do, and as far as parenting, so they knew that they really needed the support. And we have a wonderful curriculum called Earn While You Learn, and so we were going to go through that with them. And the young man, when we talked to him about being a father, he said, "I don't even know what being a father is all about. My father's in prison, and my mother's on the street, and so I don't know what that's all about." And so there is a need for men to come alongside of these young men that come in. We don't have them come in often, but when they come in, we want to be able to partner them with somebody that would walk that walk with them. And we have a curriculum that's a fatherhood curriculum too. So those are a few of the stories of the people that have walked in our doors, and Luann will talk a little bit more about our events, and we'll close.
We always tend to talk about the positive stories. There are negative stories that come through our door. We are right now working with a company that is a pro-life company. It's called Heroic Media. And what they do is they work through the website, not our website. They set up a website for us, and they direct calls that if they are Googling abortion, pregnancy tests, whatever, this website pops up, and they click on it, and they can call us. And they're tough calls. I mean, they're not, because they are looking for an abortion. And so our goal is to get them in, sit them down and talk with them. It's hard right now because we don't have the ultrasound going, but we do have a place where we can refer them to that will do an ultrasound for free right now. But our goal is to get that ultrasound so we can really have them come in. We don't have much time with them when we're on the phone. They hang up a lot when they realize they're not calling an abortion clinic. But we have had girls come in and still decide that they want to abort. It's rough, it's hard, it's heartbreaking, but God wants us there, and He knows what's going to happen when they walk through the door. We have a lot of no-shows. Yes, we'll come, but they don't show up. That's heartbreaking also. So we just ask that you pray for us and our families, because it affects us in ways that you don't really realize. But we do want you to understand that it's still God wanting us there, maybe wanting you. You might be having a little tug in your heart right now and saying, I can't do that, that's just not for me. But you know what, we train you. It's not like we expect you to walk in the door, throw you in a room and say, here you go. You know, there's a lot of training that goes behind it also. It's a long process, but it's a good process. So we just want you to understand that. So we have some events coming up. On September 26th, we are Team Northtown Pregnancy Center, and we have our Walk for Life. It's a little different than years past. Some of you may have heard that we had a 5K before. We're not doing a 5K this year, we're just doing a walk. And so what we do, we should have brought in a brochure. There's some brochures in the back, and some of you may have gotten them in the mail if you're on our actual snail mail list. But you take it and you get sponsors. You get people to sponsor you to walk. And all the proceeds come to us. You can also go online through our website and create your own fundraising page, which is kind of fun, and get people, if you like the online thing, you can do that and create it, send it out to your friends, your email list, put it on your Facebook, and have people sponsor you that way. Did I say September 26th? It's at Ming Park in Kenmore. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's fun for the kids. We'll have bounce houses and face painting and all kinds of fun things for them. We have for teenagers and I guess adults, mostly men. We have bumper balls, you know, where you get in those balls and you play soccer. Yeah, we're going to do that. It'll be fun to watch. I'm not doing it. And so that'll be a lot of fun. We want you to come. We also have baskets. You know, we have been blessed through the community that have given things that we're going to be able to do baskets and have our basket raffle. So we ask that you come and participate with that. We're looking forward to it. It's our first year off the island. We did it on Grand Island for a couple of years, our 2 years, because we had the 5K, we did it at Beaver Island. This year we thought, let's go into Kenmore. That's where we are. That's where we are. So we want to be within the community. So invite you out, come out, bring kids, grandkids, neighborhood kids, whatever. Just bring them out. It's a great way to slowly introduce them into the pro-life thing. Why are we going? Well, we're going to save babies. This is what we're going to do. We're going to help save babies. You can just make it simple. It doesn't have to be the whole talk. It's just a simple way to start. What did you say to Josiah? Here.
Last night I took a call because we are on a hotline. So my grandson was sitting on the porch reading, and I saw that a call was coming in, and there's a way to distinguish it. It has ones after it. So I looked over at Josiah and I said, listen, this is a call and you cannot talk to me. I have to talk. I have to go in the house and talk to this person. So I go in and I'm talking, and it takes 20 minutes. And as he walks by me, comes in, he looks at me and he wants to say something, and I'm like, so he goes to the couch and sits down and he starts reading again. So when I got off the phone, I said, you know, I thanked him for being quiet and everything. And I explained that it was a call from the pregnancy center. And I said, did you know that there are people, women, that when they get pregnant, there are some women that aren't happy about that. And he said, really? Like it just, and it was really a good way to just, that was all I had to say, and that'll settle in that, you know, so it was, you know, you don't have to do a lot of explaining, you know.
So let's see. Yeah, and also just a heads up about what's coming in the future. Every year we have an annual banquet, and this year our banquet is in May again, May 5th. It's so past couple of years. It's the Thursday before Mother's Day. So we have our speaker in place. We have the place. It's at the Adams Mark downtown, and I don't know. Did anybody go last year? Okay, it's free parking this year, so you won't get stuck in the parking fiasco. Just so you know. Okay. I guess it was pretty bad out there. We were last to leave, so we didn't know. And we ask that you pray about helping us financially. This church has we said it. We're not saying it just to say it because we're here. We seriously mean it. For a church this size, and it just amazes us. It blows us away every month, the check that we get. And so it's incredible what you are doing to help us already. So we just thank you. And we need young people too. You know, we need some, you have to be 18 in order to go in and sit and be a client advocate with people. But, you know, we're seeing young people out here. We need young faces to be there and to let these young people know. It's not all young people that we get, though. I just spoke with a 44-year-old woman on the phone who had a positive pregnancy test. So but when the young girls come in, sometimes it's just really nice when somebody can sit across from them and say, you can wait. It is possible to say no. Maybe you've had an unplanned pregnancy. You can share that and just let them know that you did it, you made it, you're here. You know, maybe you didn't make a good choice. I didn't make a good choice when I was a teenager. So it's those things that are helpful, and God can use those things in your life. And that's what He wants us to do, is to use those things that we learn from to help someone else maybe not make that same mistake. So thanks.
Thank you, ladies. That was really great. I guess we're done. We're going to go outside, we're going to pray, we're going to eat, and we're going to have tasting of our desserts that we all made. I won't tell you which one I made, but it's full of chocolate, and it's really good, so you got to try that one. And you can vote for your favorite dessert by putting money in the basket, and any of the money that we raise from that will go for our Christmas bag. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you downstairs.